What's up, Rink Rats? It's Woody. I'm here to tell you that this week's episode is brought to you by Champion Hockey. If you're looking for quality wheels, sticks, bags, and apparel, then look no further. Champion Hockey has everything you need to look and play like a champion. Check out top-of-the-line Legacy Series sticks and wheels and upgrade your game without breaking the bank. Go to champion.hockey to purchase your gear now, and make sure to check out Champion on Instagram at Champion Hockey to stay updated with products and events. Champion Hockey. Look like a champion. Hey, did you know we're also on Spotify? You can listen to No Offsides on Spotify while you're busting out reps in the gym, driving to your next tournament, mowing the lawn to gain brownie points with your wife because you're always gone at tournaments, or while you're getting in some much needed shooting and stick handling practice. So if you're into multitasking, make sure to follow us on Spotify, where you can listen to all of our awesome content on the Spotify app.
No offside.
Welcome to No Offsides podcast. I'm Dan Dean here with my partner Justin Wood.
What's up?
Our guest today is a director of the Canadian Rollerhockey Group. He's the oversight of the day-to-day for youth recruitment and the travel scene. We want to welcome Steve Cabral. How's it going, man?
Good. Thanks for having me down, Justin. Glad to be here.
Hell yeah.
So before we got on recording and everything like that, we've actually kind of met without realizing it, right? Because we've played each other at Nasty Cup a few years ago. I can't remember. There was a guy. I guess he's the coach, maybe. And I spoke with him. Older gentleman, super nice guy.
Manny?
Yeah, I think it was Manny. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my dad.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I got in speaking with him a little bit, but yeah, I mean it was, there's, I know there is some hurdles for Canadian roller hockey, but it seems like y'all got a lot going on up there, north of the border.
Yeah, I mean we're doing our best. I think that's like anything else. I think the shutdowns kind of put a halt in things, but since then we've been really trying to promote it and then add a lot of new fun things, local tournaments, Ironmans, different events, and just get more people back into the sport. And it was big when I was growing up with all the East Coast and the Michigan and Joe Dumars, and It was even bigger 10 years before that. So I think it's just, I know this where the sport can be. It's just put it in the work and the time and to get it back to where it was, right?
Absolutely.
And even further.
And where are you at exactly in Canada?
I'm in Oakville, which is just about 30 minutes outside of Toronto.
Okay,
Just the Greater Toronto area here. Yeah. So our leagues we first started about 2016 when we took over the Halton League, which is Oakville. And then from there, we took the Mississauga League and brought that into our fold in about 2019. And then obviously that was just before the shutdowns. And then 2022, there was a league, Kitchener, which is about 45 minutes more west of us here. They were going to shut down. So we kind of stepped in and started running the league there. So now we've got those three under our umbrella. And then we have our adult program too, which is just out of Oakville right now. But we've got like 65 plus teams in that. So that's kind of our big one right now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I have, in my free time today, I, did a little research and, hit up your website. And so, one thing that stuck out to me is your mission statement, right? And so CRHG aims to organize competitive and house league roller leagues throughout areas of Ontario, Quebec, and the Atlantic provinces, right? And so we're not talking a small area that you guys are covering. We're talking quite a large area, right? I mean,
yeah.
So, for those unaware of the distance that you cover, right? I mean, Ontario's 415,000 square miles. Quebec is 600,000 square miles. And the Atlantic province is about 188,000 square miles. It's about 1/4 of the United States. The United States is 3.5 million square miles. So You're trying to cover a lot of space, which is awesome, right? I mean, how do you manage such a large area?
Oof, I think it's just about managing the expansion more than anything, and not trying to be overly aggressive while still seeking those opportunities out. Like I said, that league in Kitchener, the city didn't want to run it anymore, so it was a golden opportunity for us to step in and run it. And we're always looking for those type of opportunities, right? But I think a big part of it is the tournaments we started running. We're now in the third year of really running these local tournaments, and the Coyote Cup in May has always been our biggest draw here. And Montreal comes out to that one, and now we've got teams that are interested from Newfoundland and out in that direction, which that's a big part of it too, is getting the more teams we get from there. You get to know people like from those areas who are really intertwined with the game and who really build those relationships, and that's where those leagues will come from as we expand, right? Those relationships are what are important, and I think that's what we've been building over the last 3 to 5 years with Canadian Rollerhockey Group.
All right, and if you love this show, then you will also love the College Roller Foundation. The College Roller Foundation is a volunteer-run, tax-exempt 501c3 nonprofit organization that exists solely to raise and distribute funds to deserving college roller hockey student athletes in the form of scholarships. The College Roller Foundation isn't a tournament series, league, championship, governing body, or sanctioning agency, but rather works with partners to host events to raise and distribute all those dollar bills to roller players who also like to get their academia on. By raising money through donations and divvying out these scholarships to the players, the College Roller Foundation seeks to grow the game of roller in college. And if you're interested in finding more info, helping out, or donating, please visit www.collegerollerfoundation.com and make sure to follow them on Instagram at College Roller Foundation. College Roller Foundation, growing the roller game one scholarship at a time. It's time to join a revolution in roller with US Roller Cup, a premier roller hockey tournament series. The US Roller Cup is led by a passion for the sport. US Roller Cup is driven to create an unparalleled experience for players, fans, and coaches alike. With a focus on promoting roller hockey at all levels from youth to professional, we are committed to growing the game and fostering a sense of community within the roller hockey world. To find out more information, find tournaments near you, or to sign up for an upcoming tournament, go to www.usrollercup.com and be sure to follow USRC on Instagram at US Roller Cup. US Roller Cup, a revolution in roller.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, yeah, the shutdown didn't help anyone's cause, right? So, I mean, kind of almost, we know from our own league here that it was kind of like a reboot, right? And it's kind of like, it's a reboot. You also, you went probably a year without making as much money as usual, right? So now you're, going, how do we expand, but also how do we manage what we got? Like you have said you are, part of youth recruitment, right? And so, how do you reach out in your area and kind of get more youth players? Like, what is there like a tactic that you use, or?
I think that the most success I've had is reaching out to a lot of the coaches and just like the local areas and going on, sending them an email. Hey, this is what we do, blah, blah. And honestly, a lot of the times the coaches would be like, hey, I played back in the day. I'd love to get a group of kids in, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, I love the roller hockey, right? And that's a lot of the times how it goes. So I'd say that's a big portion. And then more recently, and this is why I've been really trying to push that envelope, is just there's the kids that, ice hockey is expensive, and there's the kids that don't want to put those long seasons in and that expect those expenses just to play at the house league or select level or whatever it is, right? So they say, oh, look, at roller hockey, I can play that for 2-3 months, however long the season is, 12 games. It's way cheaper for equipment, and I don't have the commitment of a whole winter season, right? So that's been more of a new thing, and I think that's something that we really need to lean into, because that's just getting more people into hockey, right? It's a barrier to the sport, or barrier to entry to the sport for sure.
Yeah, I always say one of the best parts of roller is that it has a lower barrier to entry.
100%. It's the best part.
I mean, I think all you got to do is show these young kids some of these unis you guys got going on, and I think immediately you guys are going to snag some kids.
Yeah, that's what we're going for.
I mean, you got the Maple Leaf, you got the Canadian Sea. I mean, you got it all mixed all into one, and it looks. I mean, some of these unis since the last time I've seen y'all skate in person they're nice.
Yeah, they're changed. We've got some new ones over the years, and I think those are the ones we're going to be rolling with this year to Bearcats and to Narch.
Okay. So, yeah. And so we'll get to that in a little bit because we do want to hear kind of where you guys are traveling. But let's still stay kind of local, right? And so, we talked a little bit about youth, right? How many youth programs do you guys have going on in your areas?
So we have the 3 out of Mississauga, which is just on the outskirts of Toronto, and then a little bit further we're in Oakville, and then like Kitchener is about 40 minutes again further. Okay. But our biggest draw is definitely out of Halton, which is like last year I'd say we have 250 to 300 kids there, nice. Which is a good increase from the year prior, and we still have a little bit of space for more, so we're hoping to get more. And then Mississauga and Kitchener are a little bit more of a struggle just because Mississauga, there's a lot of competition. It's a massive population there. And then Kitchener, it used to be massive in Kitchener as well, but we've only been there for now. This is our third full year going into it. So hopefully we can really get things rolling there again.
Do you believe that social media goes hand in hand with recruitment for showing youth kids, especially hey, you could be a part of this?
Yeah, 100%. I didn't even think about that avenue when you asked the question prior, but that's been a big part of it as well. And that's something I personally oversee as well as our social media. And I think a big boost for us last year might have been one of our directors, Mike Dorenz's, was he ended up winning the OHL Cup here at the U16s as a head coach, and we had probably, I want to say 11 kids who've been playing roller for 5 or 6 years on that team, and that's something that growing up you're playing hockey, or that's what every kid dreams of, being in that game and winning that championship in your minor midget year and your draft year. And then one of the kids ended up going number 1 overall, which was probably a boost to us. And we had him at the rink signing autographs for everybody. It was pretty cool. And then, yeah, so I think that was a big boost for us as well. And it has been over the last probably 2 or 3 years as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I always love hearing a story about someone from roller, doing big things in roller, but also doing big things on, big stages in ice hockey too. So that's always nice to hear.
Yeah, 100%. I think that the more stories like that, the better, because they go hand in hand, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, and I think it was Patty Maroon just recently on Spit and Chicklets that's talking roller hockey, right?
Yeah.
And so it's, all of that exposure is going to help, right? So for the sport.
100%. I think with Ethan Frank too, with the Capitals, it's like that kid I don't even think he touched the ice till he was 8 or 9. And
yeah,
now he's buzzing in the NHL, is fastest guy out there, right? He beat McDavid's record in the fastest skater. So and that's always been the biggest knock against roller, at least around here. The private skates tell you, oh, it's going to ruin your stride. How is it going to ruin your stride? This guy's the fastest player in the National Hockey League, and he didn't touch the ice till he was 9.
Hopefully we move out of that old school mentality, and hopefully we move out of it quick.
Yeah, good shift.
Do you guys see a lot of that? Even up in Canada, it's kind of like you don't want to mess around with roller too much.
It's it's my everyday battle, right? Is this the coach? Oh, I gotta play. Coach says I gotta play on 2-3 spring hockey teams, or else I'm not going to be at the same level next year. Or this instructor's saying it's going to hurt my stride, or it's not good for your game. It's going to make you lazy. It's there's so many players that you can list off, name after name, guys that are endorsing the sport or playing NHL, AHL, or KHL, whatever league you want to pick. There's roller guys out there, and it's dumb. And in Toronto, it's the bane of my existence is spring hockey.
I
Just a
understand
cash
that.
cow.
Now, do you see, like, does the time of year affect your participation in roller hockey?
As in terms of like
Like
in the
numbers?
springtime? Yeah, for sure. I mean, we don't have a rink right now in the winter. So it's just we operating from April to like early April, the floor goes in, and then late August it comes out.
Okay.
But we're working with the town right now just because our adult numbers are seeing increase, and everybody says like, hey, I'm sick of the adult ice hockey scene. Like it's just there's too many beauties out there. You know, I mean everybody's going to the NHL. And they're like, if there was a roller season all year round, we'd be playing that instead. So we've been working with the town here locally in Oakville to get us a all year round venue, which would be huge for the game. I mean, at the youth level, I honestly couldn't say what it would be like until there was an opportunity for us to just say, hey, we're doing it. Who's interested?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, looking at your adult league, just from your previous season, right? You got anywhere from bronze to plat up into 30 plus, right? I think it was something like, you're talking. I mean, how many adult members would you say you have just in that time span?
And I'd say if you're counting double ups, it's probably like 450 to 500 players in the adult division. Probably about that.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, you have the numbers, you have the people, right? It would be great to see that go all year round. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm looking at your website today and I'm going, holy shit, there's a lot of people that play roller hockey through CRHG. And I'm going through some of the names. You got guys that I know that I believe they flip like they go to they go to like Detroit or whatever and play roller hockey out of there when they can't play roller hockey in Canada. Some of them will do the drive.
Yeah, off by the border. Usually the in Fraser, some of the guys in Sarnia and out that way. In London, some guys in London will make that drive too. But yeah, that's far for us. That's like that's 4 hours from here.
Oh dang.
Yeah. I wish.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, looking at that, and I'm looking at our adult league, and I'm going, 166 members is good, and then I'm looking at yours, and I'm like, damn. Like, I wish we had over 30. I wish we had 4 adult divisions, right? And there was just that much more hockey to be played. But we're similar situation, but definitely different because our demographics is not necessarily hockey focused where we live. But hopefully,
that's our biggest issue. Is we gotta say, hey, that's what we're working on. Our plan right now is like these are the numbers that we can provide you, and it's just that we can fill out your rink with roller more than we can fill it out with ice, which is something we really have to push our numbers to be able to show. It's crazy. Like none of every ice rink is jam packed here. The prices are getting insane just for an hour of ice time. It's not sustainable.
Yeah. I mean, how do you? I guess you kind of answered a little bit, but like, how do you go about expanding roller in Canada? Right. I mean, is it just going to the cities and just being like, hey, this is what we can provide, or is there just is there more to?
I think from how it's gone so far, and we already have a couple of at least 3 or 4 places where we have groups in place that are wanting to get something going. But it usually starts with an email, 2 emails, 3 emails from a same group or same area, and they're going, hey, we think that this could be a big thing here. And then okay, we're gonna look into it, and then we get on a call with the group that's interested, and then we go from there. That's kind of how Kitchener came into the fold for us, and we've been talking about Barrie, which is a little bit more up north from here. There's a massive hockey population there that reaches out to us all the time, and then I mean, that's kind of how it always starts for us. It's just a group of interested people, and then you go from there. Okay. You want to have that. You want to have that base.
Now, you've mentioned Coyote Cup. I mean, pitch it to us, because I don't really. That's the one thing I actually didn't look up on here is on your website is Coyote Cup. So I'm interested in like what is Coyote Cup? You're on year 3. I mean, what's the draw?
I mean, I'll kind of give you a breakdown of
Sure.
the last 2 years. So in the first year, my idea was like, hey, when I was growing up, we always had there was an arch qualifier here in Mississauga, or a tours qualifier, or something of that nature every summer, and the kids just don't have anything like that anymore. So my idea was, hey, first year, I'm gonna get the adults in. We're gonna go. I think I had 22 teams, and I wanted to just set that base to let people know what the tournament was all about. And then so we didn't do much there. It was 22 teams, which is pretty much a bunch, like quarter of our men's league teams, maybe a third. And the second year came around, and I said, okay, I want to incorporate the youth divisions this year. I really want to get the kids involved from our 3 leagues. And then it kind of came about. We've always had a relationship with Peter Dale through State Wars with Farm Top Hockey. So he reached out to us and said, hey, I'd love to jump on a call with you. We'd love to, like, we're always looking for new opportunities. We'd love to explore this. So he ended up coming down with, I mean, he was great. He came down with 6 or 7 teams. He had a whole entourage with him from 10U through 18U. It was awesome. Nice. And they loved it too, because like you guys come down and your dollar's awesome here. They get away with so much. And our tournaments, it's cheaper than going to freaking $2,200 tournaments, right? We're not, over the last couple of years, we're not trying to make money. We're just trying to grow the game through our tournaments, right? If we're breaking even, we're good to go. It's just about getting the kids into the game. So from there, yeah, like he brought those teams, and then the Border Cats came down with Wyatt Saunders, he's in 07. The kid put together 3 teams to come down. Dude, he's like 17 years old. He's awesome with the Border Cats, and then his dad was obviously involved with that too, which was awesome because that was always a big battle when we were going with the Coyotes and the Border Cats and the Michigan and Ontario guys, right? So that was really cool to see. And then, yeah, I'm hoping to expand off that, see more teams from Michigan come in. I know there was when we went down to Fraser last year for their summer bash, there was a team from Cincinnati that was looking at coming down too. And then hopefully that the Border Cats are building on what they're doing, and same with Farm Tough as well. I think getting a lot of teams down helps out. But this year, yeah, I'm just looking to build off that. We separated the weekends this year because we thought that would allow us a little bit more breathing room. So we had the adults the May 2nd to 4th, which is going to just allow for more teams, a little bit more an easier process. And then the youth is going to be the 23rd to the 25th. And that's really where we're trying to get at, is just getting a lot of teams, a lot of kids involved with that youth side of things. But yeah, that's where we're at for the 3rd year here, and looking forward to it.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. I mean, what are you looking at for numbers? Like, what are you building off of from last year?
So first year we jumped from 20, we went 22, and then second year altogether, I think we had 64 between the adults and the kids. So that was a pretty good jump from us. But we also added the kids, which was a big portion of that. And then so this year, I think that we're really looking to just push those. And I think if we can get our second rink, we're working with the town right now to get a second rink in for that month of May, we can really push those numbers to 50 to 60 teams per weekend, which would be awesome. Unreal.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, maybe one day, Justin, I got to renew my passport, but maybe we jump the border and go play some roller hockey in Canada.
Hey, man.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
We'd love it. We'd love to have you guys.
So I guess we already we talked about kind of the biggest hurdle, right? Which is in Canada is ice versus roller, right? And so,
Well, speaking on that, you were saying you only have one rink right now. Is that because they melt down a rink for you guys?
Yeah, there's the 2 rinks in Oakville. They do melt down, but one of them is actually, there's a couple, but a lot of them are used for lacrosse as well, which is big down here. And so I think that second rink, that's only in Oakville. We do have our other 2 rinks, but in Oakville is really where we're trying to get that second rink for the Coyote Cup. But
So do you find that you're battling not just ice hockey but other sports for space?
Yeah, lacrosse is they do have their own facility here too. Like that's the thing. They don't, so we're not really so battling at our facilities. We do have we do have the say of who goes on the floor. Like
Okay.
they book through us. But I mean, maybe for that second facility, that's one of the barriers blocking us right now is they're saying, hey, but what are we going to do with our lacrosse? So they have to reschedule that stuff for a bit, right? But that is definitely a hurdle. And then ball hockey, I don't find so big anymore, really, but it is a draw just because of the no skating. But I don't find that we're really competing with the same type of player a lot of the time.
It's funny that you say ball hockey because there's this one league that I follow on Instagram. You probably know him. Yeah, it looks like you know.
Yeah, I know.
The ball guys. What is the name? What are they called again? Silky
the
Mitts
hands
or something.
Something like yes, that's it.
Talk about some wild jerseys and team names.
Yeah, that league's interesting.
Do you get crossover with those guys?
We got a couple guys, yeah. Some like I'd say 5 or 6 guys that play at both, but like they're a little bit of a different breed than us.
Well, they're using the ball, which is wild.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the ball. Some guys love the ball out here. I don't know what it is, but it's all about the puck for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, because there are, maybe not in your area, but in other parts of Canada that have roller hockey, but it is ball hockey, right?
Yeah, on more of the east end of Toronto, there's like smaller, like just pickup leagues or like 4-team leagues like that. And guys just refuse to play with a puck. I don't know what it is.
Maybe they're afraid to get hit by a puck. I don't know.
Maybe, but those orange balls hurt. You get one to the thigh, you get a slap shot.
So there was one time where I walked into a men's league game back from where I'm from in Jersey, and a guy in the corner took like a full-on golf club swing run into the corner, hits it. The attacker's coming in, and the ball hits the guy square in the face. He shakes it off and just keeps running through it. And I was like, that guy's an animal.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, they're different species. Let's just end that conversation there.
Yeah, I like that.
But you mentioned the travel portion of CRHG. How do you go about? You have all this interest, right, from the youth, from the adult side. How do you go about forming teams? Like, is there tryouts? Is there, is it just kind of like, hey, who wants to go?
Yeah, I think so. Last year was really the first year I leaned into the youth side of things. I've always been doing teams for myself and my buddies to go out to these tournaments since we grew up. So last year was kind of, okay, well, we looked at Fraser was doing a summer bash and they had some youth teams coming down. So I said, okay, what can we do here? And then we looked at Narch and we said, okay, we have a group of, last year we had a group of 16 youths that were pretty solid. They played together for a while and they said, we don't want to do state wars this year. We want to head to California. We want to do Narch. So that's kind of how that came about. And then from there, we built an 18U team. And then Fraser, we had 3-4 teams. And I don't know. It kind of, those two kind of just stemmed from me being, hey, parents, what's going on? But now this year, I've kind of got that year under my belt. It's like right now, it's once the kids are registered for the season, it's, hey, this is what else we've got going on. We've got an opportunity to play travel roller. We've got the local tournaments. Fill out this form for the travel roller. And then from there, we'll add you to the list and get you more information. And then come May, in between those Coyote Cups / probably use the Coyote Cup as an evaluation period for the kids and go from there and build our teams, have the scouts at the tournaments and have our tryouts in May. And then we'll build the teams from there based on interest per tournaments.
Nice. So it seems like you guys have a pretty solid plan on how to approach things. So that's always nice to have.
Yeah. well, it's nice to have, and you never know what the hiccups that the season's going to bring.
Sure.
Right? Yeah.
Now, with the adult side, is that like a different process? Is that kind of like someone always has running one team, someone's always running another team?
Yeah, that the adult is a little bit different. I feel like if I'm on the team, I always take that role, putting together. I grab a buddy and say, "Hey, let's do this together because I got these other teams, but you manage, but we'll put it together, whatever." Or I'll have someone in the league say, "Hey, I got a team. We want to go under your banner, and we want to go down to Michigan under your banner. And then I'm going to put this team together. I'll give them jerseys, whatever, put a little bit of money towards their fees, and do that way, right?" I think that's kind of how the adults have always come to play for sure. Just a group of guys that just want to head down to a tourney with the boys.
Yeah. I mean, do you see? Obviously, the traveling is the hardest part for y'all, right? It's like, especially, Narch seems to be kind of something new. A lot of your youngsters and guys probably that are going are never been to Narch before out in Cali. So it's, something new, something exciting. But it's also got to be kind of hard on the distance, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think last year we were lucky because we had, if you're familiar with Porter Airlines, we were lucky to have a deal for our players to go down on our 16 18U team. So they sponsored us a little bit there, which was nice. But California is not feasible for everybody, even with those discounts. So I think really the important things are with Bearcats coming to Michigan and State Wars being in Michigan. Those are two things two tournaments we really want to go all out for, because it's a great opportunity to get the kids into the game at the travel level, but without breaking the bank, so to speak, because it's a 4-hour drive in Michigan rather than going to California in July, which is not always feasible for families, right? So I think those are our big draws.
Do you care if we talk about Bearcat a little bit?
Yeah, no, we can dive into it for sure.
All right, what do you know?
I don't know much. I just know my teams are going. I think we have the interest to go, and we're looking forward to it. Like it looks cool. I think anything new and right in the sport is awesome. Seems like he's got a lot of sponsors behind him, and he's got some bright ideas and some cool things going on. I'm excited. That's all I know. I know as much as you. You guys probably know more.
He said he was getting only French speaking referees.
Yeah, I saw
that from you guys.
I don't know where he's getting those. I think there's a couple. I think there's a couple guys going from us that are helping him out for reffing, but I don't know about the French speaking guys. Their jerseys, the jerseys are cool though.
Yeah.
Those are cool. I like those.
So you guys are bringing some youth teams. What are you doing for adult?
For adults, we're gonna have our juniors and our D1, and then it's kind of up in the air with what's going on with our pro team right now, because depending on where our Skittles guys land and what's going on with the rest of the pro guys there. So I think either way we'll have a squad there. It's just a matter of what the roster is gonna look like.
Okay.
But yeah, bunch of. I think we've had a lot of. I like how they have the rec level as well at the adult level. So I think there's gonna be. It's a good opportunity for the new guys in the adult division to say, hey, go to it, grab your buddies, go to a tournament. It's just in Michigan. I think there's going to be interest there, and yeah, I'm excited for that. That's going to be cool.
Yeah. Do you guys ever have players go down to do Legends?
Yeah, I think I've heard a couple guys go down for Legends for sure. Like everybody, I've never heard a bad thing about Legends. Everyone always has a good time.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome to have that connection. I grew up in Michigan, so we were always going back up to Canada for hockey, and kind of the opposite of what you're doing.
Yeah, the ice guys come here. The roller guys go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't. So, from my personal experience, I mean, I've traveled to Canada and played ice hockey growing up. A lot easier from what I'm here. I mean, how is it for those guys that kind of travel across and for like traveling? Like, is it a hassle to go through across the border and kind of go from Canada to the United States?
Honestly, I've done it so many times. I feel like it's just just easy. But I know I feel like a lot of the times you talk to people in the States and they have the issue of like the passports more than anybody in Canada. In Canada, you kind of do always have to have your passport especially if you're a hockey guy, because most of the times you're gonna have to go to the States, or even if you're not a hockey guy. I feel like that's always been a problem. I hear more from Americans than when I talk to Canadian people. But I don't know if you guys see the same.
All right, Americans, get your passports updated.
Yeah, get your passports. Come down to Canada.
When I was young, we used to only need a birth certificate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
That would be nice.
A little bit more strict.
Yeah,
it's a little bit much nowadays, but
oh, dude, talk about it. When we were young, as soon as we were 19, we'd go over there to get drunk, and on the way back in and on the way like into Canada, we would get harassed.
Yeah.
And like, how much beer are you bringing back? It's hidden under the car seat or something.
Got a couple of those.
You know, I mean, you're going Bearcat, right? You got some guys going to Narch. I mean, you have tours coming back to St. Louis now for nationals. That's something that maybe your guys would possibly want to do in the future.
I mean, tours came here, and I've been to tours when I was in Kalamazoo, but I never really been a big tours guy. I don't know much about the event besides what I've heard the last couple of years, which haven't been awesome things. But again, that's just social media, so you don't want to put too much into that. But it also, I think it interferes a little bit with what we're doing this year. But I'm not opposed to anything in the future for sure.
Sure,
it's always been a staple.
And I'm sure State Wars is always an option because it's usually in the Midwest, so usually right in your backyard for the most part.
Yeah, State Wars has always been a strong partner of ours. I mean, I always grew up going to them, and I think this year is a little bit of an interesting avenue for us because I think we have the opportunity to select and send our own teams through Canadian Rollerhockey Group to State Wars, which is a little bit different than some states operate, which is it's exciting. So we can put our coaches in place and have our players playing together, which I think a big part of roller is that camaraderie and that connection between teams and players and coaches, right?
Sure.
I think that the process of tryouts I don't think it at all you can get the true nature of skill of a player from tryouts in roller hockey. You need to see them in a game because it's such a fluid sport that you need to see right in a game. State Wars would be exciting. I think that we always get a lot of interest for that, and I think this year being in Michigan is going to be a big year for that, really big year.
Yeah, I mean, because it's usually up there in Michigan every 3 years or so, 3-4 years, right? So I mean, now
sorry.
No, you're good. You got now you get 2 big tournaments coming right there into Michigan, right in your backyard. I mean, you guys got plenty of hockey coming up your way this year.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I can't wait, to be honest. 2 big tournaments. I hope Bearcats I don't hope, but it sounds like it's going to be a staple for a bit here, which is awesome. I hope they stick to being on the East Coast and being a viable option for us in travel.
Yeah, absolutely. Steve, do you have anything that you want to mention about CRHG? Anything else going on with your group? Last pitch for Coyote Cup to get people there. I mean, spotlight's on you.
I think we kind of hit all our keys here. There's not really much else that I want to hit. I mean, yeah, if you want to come down to Canada, hit the Coyote Cup in May. It's going to be a great time. Come down to Toronto. We'll see you there.
All right. That's a good place to end. So, we thank everyone for watching. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment. We always like reading those. And so, as usual, if you're forechecking roller hockey, don't let up because there's no offsides. I'm Dan Dean.
I'm Justin Wood.
Steve, appreciate you, bud. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
No
guys.
offside.